I was born and raised in Utah. Have been, uh, as many people in Utah are, a lifelong Mormon. Um, and I married young, as Mormons do. And I have been with my sweet husband for 30 years now.
Wow.
And we have 4 boys and 2 darling grandsons, which everything that they say about grandkids is absolutely true. Let your kids live, because those grandkids are completely, they're worth it. I have a cute gay son. He's 22 years old, and he opened up a whole world for me that I could have never discovered without him. And it challenged a lot of my beliefs.
Yeah.
I do feel like growing up in Utah, we did have a lot of boundaries with Zach. I wasn't sure how people would accept him. There were things that he could do inside our house that I don't think I would have let him do outside our house. Mormonism comes with a pretty heavy expectations, right? You get married in the Mormon temple. Your children have a very prescribed childhood that starts with baptism, and they as boys get the priesthood. Girls don't get that. Then they go on an LDS mission and serve in that way for a few years. And then they come home and they get married in the temple too. So I think that, prior to Zach, that's what I pictured for all my children. One of the interesting and most core tenets of the Mormons is family, right?
Yes.
Now, that can be a great thing, and that can be a really hard thing. Gender roles are extremely important and emphasized in the church. And I would just say this: a boy like Zach doesn't fit into those gender roles.
Yeah.
Most, people that are in the LGBTQ umbrella do not fit in those gender roles. And I think a lot of moms, and, even us to some extent, definitely we have experienced people wanting to push our families and our boys back into those roles because they're so uncomfortable with being out of those roles. And what does that mean? And so there's been some very hurtful things happen, again, with wanting those boys to be in those roles and not accepting them.
Yeah.
And at first, when he was little and he'd steal the neighbor's dress and he'd put it on, and he'd take their shoes, and, he'd take beads off the Christmas tree and accessorize with it, I thought, isn't that cute? He's so cute.
A good mother.
And then as it wore on, it started to make me pretty nervous.
Okay.
I didn't know what was going on. I was realizing it wasn't a phase. He was not going to grow out of it. And I honestly didn't really have any kind of framework for how to deal with it and what to do about it, really. My husband and I did have to confront it together. And, my husband will tell you, he is a reformed homophobic type of person. So when Zach was 4, he gave us his Christmas list, and it was My Little Pony and Barbie and Kelly dolls and all those things. And us being the conservative friends that we were, we bought him a scooter and a train. And he woke up Christmas morning and he opened his stuff, and I might cry. I always cry when I tell this story, but that night I was giving him a bath, and he said, Mama, I don't think Santa read my list.
Oh.
And I said, how come? And he said, because I didn't get anything I wanted.
Oh my God.
And that night, my husband and I went to bed and we cried our eyes out. And we woke up the next morning and we took back all his presents and we went crazy. And we weren't sure what the right answer was, but we were pretty sure the way that we'd been doing it wasn't the right way. I asked my pediatrician, who's amazing, to meet with us. And I told her what the issue was, and she did a little bit of research and she met with us. And I think that what she gave us, the information she gave us, changed our lives. And that is when that parent support group, which was called the Parent Listserv, and it was out of Children's Hospital. That's when that became a big deal for me, because we'd ask each other through email, because it was 2004, these questions like, my kid wants to take a Hello Kitty backpack to school. What should I do? My kid wants to wear a pink shirt to school. What should I do?
Yeah.
And, what I found was that these parents were really brave in the way that they supported their kids. And it made me brave too. It made
Good.
me brave too. And I think a few of us, we were all kind of thinking, wouldn't it be awesome if we could meet in person?
Yeah.
And that's sort of how Camp I Am was born. They used to have a picnic, and we
Yeah.
thought, what if we could go to their picnic and just
Wow.
kind of make something out of it? And so the first year, it was myself and three other families.
In
And we
Washington?
went, yeah, we traveled to Washington.
Wow.
And you know how I got brave enough to take my kid to Washington, D.C. to meet people that I didn't know, who I only interacted with on the internet?
Amazing.
Like I remember Zach with his American Girl dolls, and there was other boys there, and they had American Girl dolls, and it was like, whoa, it's all these boys playing with their American Girl dolls, and it just like it was joy, it
Yes.
was pure joy. We would end the weekend with this big fashion show where we just let our boys just dress up,
Wow.
dress to the nines, gorgeous dresses, whatever they
Yeah.
wanted to do, come out, strut their stuff. It
Yeah.
was it was joy. It
It
was
sounds
joy.
amazing.
We're going to support him. He's going to have all the Barbie dolls he wants at home.
Yeah.
How do we do that in the world?
Yeah.
I thought, here's this lovely community that accepts my son, and these lovely people online that are wonderful, but they don't live in Utah, and they're not Mormons. If you remember, I was desperate to meet another Mormon mom of a gay son, like
Right.
desperate. I
Back
was
in the
like,
day. Right.
this is fine, but like the church is never going to get on board with this. Like there is zero chance that anything happens in church. And
Yes.
I was hook, line, sinker raising my kids in church. Like we were extraordinarily faithful. Um, I've had two sweet sons go on serve LDS missions. We were very, very, very faithful, growing up with the kids. And so I was like, I want to meet another Mormon mom. And I mean, that's essentially how Mama Dragons was born. And it started as this, small group of Mormon moms who wanted to figure out how to navigate their faith. They wanted to figure
Yeah.
out how to support their gay sons.
Yes.
And, much like any great support group it got huge. And now Mama Dragons is not just for Mormon moms, it's
Right.
for every mom of an LGBTQ child.
Yeah.
My first question was, hey, I want to march in the Pride Parade, but I think my bishop won't like it. What do you think I should do? That was my first question.
What were the answers?
My fellow mamas said, don't ask for permission.
I love
Ask
it.
for forgiveness. Do it.
Wow.
And it's beautiful to watch those moms ask questions, embrace other moms who might not know how to support their kids. And, I mean, the whole point of Mama Dragons is let's support the mom so that they can support their kids. That's going to give
Yes.
them a better outcome.
Part of the reason why it's so important to have moms like you here is you're a role model for so many people that don't understand what it's like. I mean, you stepped out of your faith to find support for yourself, and you landed in the office of the right physician who did
Yeah.
their homework. They sent you to the right places. You did not balk at it. You went with it. You did your research from there, and you started this incredible camp, but you also started a trajectory that didn't only change your life, it changed the life of many people after Zach and after your family. And it's an incredible legacy. I don't know if you think of it like that, but
I just want to say to everybody that's on there, first of all, I really want to say, Rick, to you. And, I feel like the reason why my son is having a good experience is because the people before him were so brave. So I
um,
always want to thank, because
thanks.
I feel like that's what's made my son have a good experience. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Lori Davis, thank you so much for being here. I am honored to have you as a friend, and I know our paths are going to continue to cross. And thank you for being part of Gay Sons and Mothers and sharing your
Yes.
story with us tonight. And I just think it's incredible.